I'm Brandon.
And we're here for another countdown. We're here to count down our top 10 lists from movies to music and everything in between.
And today's topic we'll be discussing on this beautiful, beautiful Juneteenth week. Did I say wink? This beautiful Juneteenth week is what I meant to say. I can't talk right. It's okay. If y'all don't know by now, y'all should know. We will be discussing Black fictional characters. Now, we haven't discussed the parameters of this fully, but to me, that means books, movies, TV, video games.
Yes, yes.
As long as they Black, they in.
That's right.
So, before we get into that, there's one main question that I have to ask everybody because it is Juneteenth week by the time you're hearing this. Who, obviously Black, had the best style in movies or TV?
Ooh. See, even for me, that makes me like, I got three people in my head. Immediately, I got Hillary Banks from Fresh Prince. I got
Really? I would not think Hillary at all.
Hillary. I got Whitney Gilbert from A Different World. And then I got Regine Hunter from Living Single. So I think
me, my first thought is Will from Fresh Prince.
true. He did have the latest like shoes and stuff.
And then after that, I'm trying to think of who would actually be next.
Kyle Barker. He definitely, for a sophisticated Black man in the corporate America in the 1990s, definitely had a sense
Matter
of
of fact,
fashion.
you want to know who? You want to know who?
Oh,
that?
Martin too.
I really like Martin's style with the giant coats.
But that was
leather,
the
everything.
style.
Yeah, but
or Tommy.
see me. I'm actually say Andre.
See,
From
but
Blackish
I don't really watch
because he
Blackish.
just like he had the J's.
Okay.
Modern black man. He dressed
Okay.
like a modern black man. I think
Okay.
he had the fire outfits. But
I'm gonna tell you
overall,
though.
though, I'm gonna say Will because I think Will's outfits was a bit more unique.
Okay,
Like,
so
because that was a part of his character to be like the unique outfits.
and if I'm thinking about females, I'll probably have to go with Regine.
Females, I'm gonna actually go Raven from Raven's Home
hmm
because her outfits in Raven's Home is fire.
If I had to do males, I'm gonna do Cole just because his hats was always on point.
All right. All right.
See how you do.
This thing, we done with that. Cole, we gonna throw Cole in there.
Yes,
That's
Cole. His hats were iconic. Even when they did the reunion, he came with a hat and it had his name in the hat. It was so dope.
For some reason, whenever I think Cole, I think of a hat with a ball on it. But
Yes,
I don't know if that was just a
that's
Christmas
one of the
episode
episodes.
or
That's
if
the
that's like
Christmas
where he
episode.
always wore hats with like the little fuzzy balls on them.
No, his hats were always different. He could have like a regular hat, like the sun hat, like roll back.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
because he was known for his hats.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add something a little different today.
Okay.
I want to ask another question.
Ooh.
That's sort of going off of this. Okay. What TV series, okay, do you think had the best black, once again, bliggity black, had the best ending? Because I was watching an interview on the Breakfast Club where they was talking about one of the endings to what ends with the wedding, which is like what most of the black shows did back in the day, where it was always like the wedding and either the bride
Well,
got
the only
married or
show
ran
I can
away.
think of that ended with a wedding is the Jamie Foxx show.
Nah, it was
That's the last episode. And it was their 100th episode too.
I forget. Anyway, which show do you think had the best finale? To me, I think it has to be Fresh Prince because I think Fresh Prince is the only show that really had like the show's over.
Yeah, I mean, it had that vibe because they emptied the house out. Well, the set,
Yeah.
you know,
See, Martin's a little difficult because of
the
the
situation.
off the set stuff that made it a
Yeah,
bit difficult.
yeah. I would probably have to say for me, actually, the Jamie Foxx show. Just because the
Mm.
finale, they kept the comedy, but when Jamie sings to Fancy, the tears, okay, the song, and then they have the flashbacks, it's just so. And then just knowing, like, again, I watched Gabrielle Bouvet's Uncensored and learned more about what was happening behind the scenes with the show. That was their 100th episode. So if I'm not mistaken, they never got into syndication. Well, I guess they'll rerun some. Yeah, they did because they had their 100th episode on their finale.
Mm.
Like they had just made it, but they didn't make it past 5 seasons. And that's kind of the sad part about shows back in the day.
Yeah.
They didn't really, well, the 90s, they never made it past 5 seasons.
Yeah, like a lot of the black shows never really have proper finales because
I didn't like Living Singles finale. Like, I
I
was
didn't remember
happy.
what it was.
So, in the end, Max finds out she's pregnant by Kyle.
Oh,
Spoilers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I do remember that. I do remember
But it
that one.
was rushed. It was because behind the scenes of that show, they had fired TC Carson. Well, I guess more that he quit because
Yeah,
he wasn't liking the way that they were writing his character. And so he comes back only for the finale. And Max finds out she's pregnant by him, but it was more of like she went to a sperm bank and she didn't know he was the donor. That
yeah,
it was crazy. And then, of course, we know we have Sinclair and Overton that are married and
yeah.
stuff like that. But
Those
Khadijah,
typical sitcom hijinks.
yes, Khadijah ends up back with Scooter in the end, and she ends up choosing love over her career. So, like, remember, she owned Flavor magazine, so technically she could run the office from not being in the office.
True.
So,
Hey,
but the only person that was missing from the finale was Regine.
mm,
So she didn't. Kim Fields didn't come back for the finale.
yeah,
Technically, she had her happy ending. She met a guy, and then they got married within like a month or so.
I don't recall any of that because Living
Yes,
Single
I didn't like season
was not
5.
necessarily one of my favorite shows.
Season 5 of some of those shows like Martin and Living Single, those are ones I can skip and just go back to the beginning because that first season is always the best for me.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed some of that
yes.
dual discussion, which I forgot the intro, but
Yeah,
you've been here a few times now.
you know what we do.
Yeah.
All right. So what's gonna happen next is Brandon and I are going to. We have 10 fictional Black characters that we brought, and then we're gonna battle it out.
To put them on the same list. So we
Yes.
each brought 10 separately.
Yes.
So
So 20 total.
yes.
And then we're going to break it into 10.
Yeah. But you guys won't know all the ones we chose either. Because
Mm-hmm.
right now we're just battling to get basically you could think of like our top 5 on the list.
Yeah.
Unless we have duplicates, which we'll
Yes.
explain how that would work later. Actually, I'm gonna do it right now because it's quite simple. We're just gonna battle it out to try to get another one of our picks, our extra picks on.
That's why we came with 10 and not
Yep.
5.
All right.
Okay. Brandon, I'm going to let you go first this time.
Well,
Because it's Juneteenth.
starting what that have to do with me
I
going
don't
first?
know. I usually go first. You go first.
Okay. Today, happy Juneteenth to me, everybody. So for me, I have to start off with a banger.
Uh-oh.
A powerful black man, a blackity black man. Undercover Brother
Yes.
movie version. Undercover
Oh,
Brother.
I forgot there was a show. Yes.
Yeah, I believe it starts from like some kind of web.
Yeah, that's what it's
thing or
based
something.
on,
Yeah.
and they made it a movie.
Yeah, so to me, it's Undercover Brother.
I'm not fighting that because I didn't have that. And yes, I forgot about him. That's my favorite movie. That's my favorite movie. Oh my goodness. Yes, I love Eddie Griffin. I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to I want to add in Tiana.
The princess.
Yes, because she's the first Black princess. Most significant thing to date.
I'm
I
saying,
feel like
it's a
y'all did Princess and the Frog so wrong.
I mean, because it's a bunch of Tianas out there. See, okay, question though. This is slightly related to Tiana, and you may or may not have this character on your list. So I don't know if you gonna answer this question or not.
Okay.
Do we now count Ariel as a Black fictional character?
I guess now we do.
Interesting.
But you would have to specify 2023 Ariel.
Well, or live action.
Live action, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
So-
Tiana for me because it was the first Black princess.
For me, keeping in the realm of animation has to be the big dog himself. The pride of Chicago that moved out to the suburbs. The young god,
Yes.
Huey Freeman.
He's on my list.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, specifically Huey Freeman.
We have our first tie. So
Yeah.
yes, he was definitely on my list.
Yeah, because the whole reason why I had to choose Huey is the specific reason why I didn't choose Riley is because Riley, I think, is the depiction of everything that we shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And I think Huey is the depiction of everything that we should be. Even though sometimes his little ass is arrogant.
Yes. And honestly, if we talk about Juneteenth, Huey would be the face of Juneteenth. He literally was doing rallies and protests. And he was like 9.
Actually, the face of Juneteenth should be Opal. Was one of the people that fought to get it recognized. But Huey Freeman.
Yes.
Who else gonna top Huey?
Oh my gosh. Well, just keep in mind, y'all, Huey's the first person we both have on our list, so we have an open spot. I'm gonna go out and say James Evans, just because
From
from Good Times.
okay,
Because I think that James, of course, we know with that show behind the scenes, it all went left and they killed his character
you be
off.
fighting so hard for Good Times, bro. I just
I
don't
do
understand it. I
because
just
Good
don't
Times,
understand it.
because Good Times is a good show. Okay. Honestly, he was the first. We talking about way before Uncle Phil. So way before Uncle Phil in the 70s, first positive black male father I seen on TV, even though I'm not from the 70s, you know? But I'm just saying, like, I like to watch different sitcoms from different eras. And for me, he was the first one in the 70s as a black lead that wasn't like on drugs or a deadbeat father.
Yeah. Also, something we forgot to mention up top. This is totally on us for spacing. We also gonna rank them from 1 to 10 after
Yeah,
we're done
well,
doing this.
if you've been with us, you know what we're
Yeah.
gonna do.
So obviously we're
Yeah.
gonna rank them.
Yeah.
Once again, you should know at this point you've been around.
Yes.
If not, welcome. Welcome
Welcome.
to the Do the Cities
Yes.
podcast.
Yes, but yeah, we're gonna add James Evans
Okay.
because yes.
For me, since we adding black icons.
Just James Evans too, but let me also because we just passed Father's Day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, for me, this is another black icon, a modern black icon. A queen, some people may call her.
Uh-oh.
Miss Raven Baxter.
Yes,
From That's
she's
So
on
Raven.
my list too. All right, we got 2 open spots.
So the reason for Raven for me is because Raven, I think, was I don't think people appreciate how iconic That's So Raven was, especially for like black kids growing up. Back
Mhm.
then, like even trying to think back, I'm trying to think, was there other any shows that had black leads
Not like Raven.
besides That's So Raven
We didn't get
during that time
another
frame?
black lead like that
Until
till
Corey in the House, I would assume,
well,
which is
Corey in
the
the
follow
House,
up show.
but True Jackson VP.
Oh yeah, True Jackson with Kiki.
Yes.
Yep.
That was the next time we had a black lead.
Yeah, but then also the whole thing about Raven's uh uh um character as well, because I guess we discussing the fictional character himself, not necessarily the actors portraying him,
Mhm.
but the fictional character itself. I think the one thing that always is fire to me about Raven absolutely loves her kids.
Yes.
Okay. She's a depiction of a single mom, which, happens. But the show isn't about the struggle of being a single mom. Well, I'm thinking of Raven's Home, by the way. So this includes all of Raven Baxter, not just That's a Raven. And
Mm.
like Raven's Home, she's a single mom in the show. But on top of that, it's not about like the woe is me story that a lot of them try to tell with like the single mother stories. Raven, um, I think has not only been an icon for what dang, has it been 20
Well, yeah, we
years?
were just
Almost
talking
20
about it
years?
today. It's been 2 decades.
Dang, that's a long time. But yeah, to me, the fact that it was like something you said earlier today is that she has been able to make kids laugh from when
Yeah.
we was kids,
Yeah.
even up until now.
Our kids.
Yep.
Our kids love Raven's Home, you know. So yeah, so just again, Raven was also on my list, so we have 2 open spots. The next person I want to put on there is Chris Washington from Get Out. Because
Wait, it's Chris the friend?
no, Chris is the one that goes to the house with Rose in them
Oh,
and don't know.
this thing. Look. I don't really remember character names from movies. Don't judge
Yes.
me, okay? I've seen Get Out multiple times. Okay.
If Daniel Kaluuya. So like if I said Daniel Kaluuya, he'd
Yeah.
be like, "Oh yeah. Yeah." His name is Chris in the movie. And
Don't
honestly,
take my black art, please. I promise you. I promise you I seen the movie. Okay. But
Yes.
cause to me, I was thinking Lil Rel, cause to me, that
Yeah.
is the standout black man in that movie.
He is, but I just feel like that being Jordan Peele's like first film and it's so iconic and there's so many things. I think though Chris deserves to be on that list because he's the one that breaks down and he starts killing them all. He go down to the room. He figures out how to put the cotton in his ears. Spoilers, if you haven't seen the movie at this point, I don't know what to tell you. It's been like a decade. He figures out while he's tied down to the chair,
Yeah, to the
how to put the cotton in his
doctor
ears
chair.
so he can't hear the thing. So it
The
can't
little tea
hypnotize
time
him.
thing.
Yeah, so shout out to him. Shout out to
Okay.
Chris.
Look, speaking of another black man who killed his white oppressors and comes out victorious. Django.
Which, yes,
Django.
you know
Now,
what?
now,
I
now,
could, yes.
there's also something else that I want to comment about Django as we move forward. Django, I think, is one of my favorite fictional characters because I think, look, let's not talk about the director.
Oh
Okay, let's not talk about how many N words is in the movie. I get it.
yeah.
I get it. Okay,
And if
but
you don't know Quentin, you know Quentin been saying that
yeah,
since the 90s. So
yeah, it wasn't that does not excuse it. I'm saying,
right.
but Django, the character, I think one of the things that stands out to me about this character is that this character is not necessarily treated as like a he has a purpose in the movie and he's the hero
Yeah.
in a slave movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time the slave movies is about how difficult it was to be a slave. This movie depicts a slave that becomes the hero of the story and have to have Django on the list for that.
And this is a movie, that's a movie I can definitely be like, all right, I definitely, if I see it's on BET, I might stop, watch
I
it.
don't think Django gonna be on BET now. I don't know.
It was,
I don't
well,
know.
it might not now,
Yeah,
not that
I'm just
Tyler
saying.
Perry on it,
No,
but
I'm
it
saying in
definitely
general.
played on VH1, which is the same, they both owned by the same Viacom. So,
Yeah, but I mean, it definitely gonna be. I don't think Quentin gonna put a Django on BET.
well, it was definitely playing on VH1. But also too, just a little unknown fact, Django was originally white, made black. So put that out there.
I low key don't
Um,
believe that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Um,
I think people be saying stuff for headlines. That's beside the point.
my next person, speaking of icons, I would be wrong if I did not have her on this list. The Foxy Brown. Okay? Foxy
Sure,
Brown.
that's a good one.
Pam Grier. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Well, yeah.
What y'all know about Foxy Brown? Now I was battling between Foxy Brown and Coffee and Sheba Baby because
See now,
they were all iconic.
look, this thing. I can't dispute this particular pick. But all I would say is, well, Foxy is pretty cool. Only thing is, the way that they used to do Pam Grier back in the day in the movies
Yeah,
is super messed up. You
it
know what I mean?
is. It
But
is. But I
uh,
mean, when you say Pam Grier, the first person that comes to your head is Foxy before any of her other roles. It's definitely Foxy Brown.
for me, oh, never mind. I was going to say the same movie. For me, my final pick,
And actually,
a more
we have 2 openings. So we actually have to stop because
no.
we had Raven and we had Huey.
I haven't said my fifth pick. So,
Okay.
for me, my fifth pick of the list, the person that must go on the list, is a recent addition for a lot of people, not necessarily for me, a recent addition, but a character that I think has done really well for the depiction of black boys, Mr. Miles Morales. Okay,
Yeah.
don't be confused about the last name. This is a black boy, and I think he's mixed. He's mixed. But yeah, I think Miles Morales, the character, I think has really changed the perception of like black heroes for kids, right? Like, one of the things I've always enjoyed about the Spider Verse movies, right? We have a black lead in those movies who is what's the name of the guy who voiced Miles?
It's Shamik Moore.
Yeah, Shami Moore. Like to me, that just dope. Like it would have been so dope as a kid to see a black Spider Man, and like growing up to where for a lot of kids, Spider Man is Miles Morales, and I just find that to be completely dope.
Yeah. And I mean, our son won't even let the hairstyle go. He
Yeah.
still wants the Miles Morales haircut.
So the question I have for you is: do we still have two openings or just one?
We have one now.
Okay, yeah.
And so
So the one opening that I'm gonna argue for is a character that I think completely stands for Juneteenth. This fictional character was in the movie the way he made the point basically of, yo, y'all was free, but all of us wasn't. Killmonger.
I was thinking about him on the list and then I was like,
See, cause like to me, the reason why Killmonger is 'cause I think Killmonger is a fictional character. This once again, Black Panther movie, since it can be any version of it. The Black Panther movie Killmonger. The reason being is because I think that character is an embodiment of y'all was free, we all wasn't, and we can't do nothing until all of us are free.
I wanna argue for Khadijah James, and here's why. Because for me, that was the first time I saw on a sitcom a Black woman being depicted as owning her own business, running
See,
her own show,
right,
having friends who also were super successful
right, but
like that, and they technically were in their 20s when the show
right,
first
but look,
starts.
my argument against that is you said in the ending, what did she do?
Well, we can assume that she still runs
Right,
Flavor,
look,
but
but
just not in the office.
look,
Because
you
if you
can't
actually
assume because assume makes.
oh, you know what?
Don't repeat that. Don't repeat that. But look, this thing, the reason why I go against Khadijah is because I think that toward the end of the show, they write her character to be more submissive in a lot of the approaches that she have in the show.
Mm,
That she stopped being like I think in the beginning of our show, she's very much the boss of Flavor, and then we eventually move into her relationship strife rather than the fact that she's a boss. So I can't rock with Khadijah.
okay.
As far as far as top fictional character,
I'll
Killmonger.
let you have
See,
Killmonger.
look, this thing. Not let you argue somebody else. You share other people on
I
your
mean,
list.
the other person I have is Libby from Jimmy Neutron. And it's because
That's
for
a good
me,
one. That's a good one.
the first thing I think about is how her character first is animated with her pressed out ponytail, but after they go to Egypt and she sees her ancestor on that wall, she starts wearing her hair natural.
No, no, it's not natural. It's a braid.
Well,
She,
it's
she
in
wear the
braids, but
braids.
it's
Yeah.
natural. Braids are considered natural. So, you
I
know,
don't know. I don't know if that's
they
true.
are because it was her real hair,
Yeah,
no
but I
extensions.
don't think braids are considered natural. Natural hairstyles have to be hairstyles that none done with. Look, this thing. Right down in the comments if braids is
Whew.
natural hair.
All the black women
Yeah,
about to start attacking Brandon.
because I disagree with that. Because it's because
Uh-oh.
like the hairstyle of braids isn't natural. Like to me, locks are natural because like locks will form.
Right, but you can also lock your hair with braids too.
No, no, that's not. But what I'm saying is somebody has to braid your hair.
Yes.
Locks will form naturally.
No, somebody has to lock your hair too.
No, no.
You do? You have to lock your hair?
Tarzan had locks because nobody
Oh
took
my
care of his
goodness.
hair in the jungle.
Oh my goodness.
Locks will form. Look, that's beside the point. All I'm saying is I don't think braids natural hair.
Anyways, what y'all think? I originally wanted to do Khadijah. Brandon said no because her character changes.
First of all, I just say it's an argument. You failed your
Yes.
argument.
You know what? How about Libby?
See, only reason why I won't do Libby is because they in Jimmy Neutron, right? Not saying the show's racist, but they do give her a lot of the um I need my hip hop music,
Oh, yeah.
the neck shaking, the uh-uhs,
Mm.
the girls.
Well, then I'm not arguing Dejanay.
Definitely not. No way. No way.
Oh boy. Dejanay, we all have a Dejanay in our lives. We all know one. Not the name, but a person that is Dejanay.
See, look, Penny Proud probably would have had a better argument. Trudy probably had a better argument.
Well, you're not gonna let me have Martin.
Because Martin is a terrible fictional person. Martin is terrible.
He's not bad.
Look at what he do to his friends
Oh, my
constantly.
goodness.
Look what he do to Pam. Look at even stuff he did to Gina.
Oh,
He is a awful human being that's just fun to watch, but terrible in his actions.
his comedy is so funny. Okay, I'm gonna let you.
Okay, so wait, are we going with Killmonger?
We're gonna go with
Because
Killmonger.
this thing, if we don't go with Killmonger, I do have an alt pick.
Okay.
Okay, another character that I think deserves a shout out that don't get talked about enough.
Okay.
Agent J from Men in Black.
Okay, yeah, and I'll do that because that's my movie. Agent J. Agent J.
Because now the reason why I'm saying Agent J from Men in Black, right? This one I'm just arguing against myself.
You know what?
I'm saying Agent J is because I think Will Smith, back in the day, he used to choose movies that was not necessarily black movies per se, or characters that weren't necessarily black characters per se. And I think that Men in Black does a good job of telling the story, like a story, without having to call out that this is a black dude, even though they do that in sometimes. But I don't think necessarily it's like completely defined by it. And I also think his character just dope. He is the undisputed hero of the series. And to me, it's always dope to where black characters are portrayed as heroes and not like being punched down the ball a lot.
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna run down the list. This is in no particular order. We are about to rank them from 10 to 1. Um, we are looking at Undercover Brother, Tiana, Huey, James Evans, Raven Baxter, Chris Washington from Get Out, Django, Foxy Brown, Miles Morales, and Agent J. So we are gonna now move into the next part of the podcast.
The ranking.
Part of the podcast where we rank them. So let's figure out how to rank them. So just to let you know, if you're new here, if you're not, you know what's going to happen after the podcast is over. Once we rank them together, the following Tuesday, we will release how we rank them on our own because we may not agree with where they are put on the list we do.
Yeah, also maybe people on one list that's not on the other. So you can go ahead and get inside our psyche to see just how insane we are outside of the podcast.
All right. So.
Okay. For me, I feel like number one has to be in celebration of Juneteenth, Huey.
Yeah, I think Huey does. Again, he would be the face of Juneteenth. Yeah. Like, if we talk about revolutionary, he literally had the CIA following him.
And then also, let's not forget that this man is an expert karate person.
Yes. Remember when he battled her?
I think he was on karate. I don't remember exactly what his style of fighting was.
Kumite, right? Yeah.
No. That's the tournament. That's the tournament.
That's the tournament.
Yeah, Kumite.
Y'all know that if you know the show, you know the episode we talk about.
Yeah. And yeah, so to me, Huey has to be number one just because I think that Huey is one of the not only standout Black characters, but I think that Huey, the character of Huey, I think sort of summarizes what I look for in a Black character. A character that's smart, that's skilled, that's not like the butt of the joke all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
His brother's the butt of the joke. Hanging out with
only sometimes though.
Remy and and them.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8 Ball, but that's not
that is not his name.
8 Ball MJG.
No, so if we keep with that, we want to keep the revolutionary people at the top. It goes Huey and then Undercover Brother.
I agree with that.
They had a whole organization.
I agree with that.
That's a movie.
I'll go Undercover Brothers was number 2.
We might have to watch this after that because that's
the man.
The man. It's such a good movie.
My favorite part. Caucasian overload. Caucasian overload.
He's watching the video.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. How about for number 3, we put Django.
Okay. I was actually gonna go Raven. Not even because like the revolutionary stuff. I just think Raven's character is a bit more consistent.
Okay.
You know what? I want to say consistent because Django's fairly consistent throughout the movie as well. I just think Raven's character, I think, is another standout. Like when I went into this and I was ranking these, I was thinking of characters who I would hang out with.
You would hang out with Django?
No, once again, let me go ahead and get through it fully.
Okay.
I was thinking of it like Black fictional characters that I would hang out with or Black fictional characters that had a huge impact.
Okay.
So like when I was making my list, I was trying to rank them, right? So what I was trying to do was go through impact, hang out with.
And I was thinking when I did my list, the iconic stature of those characters.
Okay. So look, see, if we do that though, Django, I don't think Django is more iconic than Raven.
Yeah. So what if we did Raven then Django? Or would we push Django all the way down?
No. I don't think we'll push him all the way down. Look, how about this? I'm cool with Django being number 3.
And then Raven? Because I'm fine with Raven being number 3. Because
I'm probably gonna need to hit a list again. But I think we should do Django.
So right now we have Tiana, James Evans, Raven, Chris Washington, Django, Foxy Brown, Miles Morales, and Agent J.
Yeah, I think we should do Django, then Raven.
Okay.
No, you know what? I take that back. N-
Raven then Django.
No way we can't have a black queen not in the top three. That would just feel wrong. It just feel wrong.
Raven.
Yeah, I think we have to put
Raven.
Raven up there.
Raven. Yeah. Okay. And then Django.
I can do Django next.
Okay. So who's gonna go after Django?
So here's my thing. Depending on what we're looking at,
Okay.
right? Because once again, my whole thing was impact characters I want to hang out with. I would say Miles Morales because I think the new I think it's a big deal to change the image of what people think of when they think of Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like to me, I think that's a huge accomplishment that for a lot of people now, when they think Spider-Man, they think Miles Morales.
Now my argument against that though is if we're talking about impact, I'm gonna have to say Tiana because if it wasn't for Tiana, we would not have a Black Ariel.
I don't know if that's true.
I believe that is true
I don't know
because
if that's true.
that was the
See,
first
'cause
time.
right, but see,
But think about how long it took.
right, but I
That was
mean,
2009. It's 2023. We just now have
right, but
the black version. Like we have a Black Belle now. Well, I guess
well, see,
I
because Brandy,
yeah.
Black Cinderella.
Yeah.
So like to me, I don't think Tiana would be more iconic. Mainly, like not even for that specific reason. Is because my thought process is always like, even today, we still haven't first black person to blank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
But Tiana was the first one who held her own. She is not the depiction of another princess that already existed.
I mean, she's kinda is.
Not really. The first princess
She's a
I
version
know.
of the Frog Prince.
Okay, but there is no like as far as the Disney like universe, she's the first one in her own existence that's not depicting another princess that already exists on top of being from New Orleans, which we'd never seen before.
Wait, but all of them are like Disney created all those princesses.
No, I'm saying she's not like another version of XYZ. She's the first Disney princess from New Orleans. We've never seen, and some people aren't aware of like the culture from
but see,
Louisiana.
Yeah, but see, my argument is that I think Disney has done it with like most of their princesses, like Mulan, who's like the first Disney princess from
She's
China.
Chinese. She's Chinese.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
That's why I hesitated because
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm getting it right.
Yes.
But yeah, to me, I think Disney has done it with like multiple of their characters, and they all pull from some sort of folklore or in some way. Now, my argument against Tiana is they turned her into a frog. So like her character throughout the movie is unfortunately the thing they do with a lot of black people when they can't be black the full movie. So we got to make him an animal or some other than black people. Even when they did like the Will Smith Bird movie where he's a pigeon.
Shrek.
Yeah.
With Eddie Murphy, he's a donkey.
I mean, but Shrek is all animated. So like he didn't get turned to it. Like he wasn't a black dude that turned into a donkey. Now I'm saying in what is it called? I think it's called like Spy or something. Will Smith is a black dude, get turned into a pigeon. Tiana is a black woman, get turned to a frog. You know what I mean? Like that's typically that's the way they get around it. You know what I mean?
Well, if we're gonna do that, if Miles comes next, we need to do Tiana right after him.
Who else do we have next? Because this thing, I'm not full on Miles quite yet. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Let's run down what's next. So we got our top four. Our top four.
We have our top four. Number 1 is Huey.
Okay.
Number 2 is Undercover Brother. Number 3 is Raven. Number 4 is Django. So then we have James Evans, Tiana, Raven, Chris Washington, Foxy Brown.
Wait, I thought Raven was.
I'm sorry. We have James Evans, Tiana, Chris Washington, Foxy Brown, Miles Morales, and Agent J.
Yeah, I would go Miles Morales and then Foxy Brown actually.
Okay.
See.
But why Foxy underneath Miles?
Because I think once again this sort of comes to the Foxy Brown. Honestly, I don't really feel is the best character for the list because unfortunately those movies had a very particular way to depict Pam Grier.
Yeah.
For other reasons that wasn't because she was a black woman. But Um, yeah, I think wait, it's am I thinking of the wrong movie?
Foxy Brown, her brother get killed.
I was thinking of Quentin Tarantino's movie.
Oh, you thinking of
Uh,
Jackie Brown.
yeah, which probably honestly would have been a better pick.
Jackie
Yeah,
Brown.
that if it was Jackie Brown, that would be a way different
That
argument.
would have been
But
dope. Yeah.
yeah. See, the problem though with Foxy is that Foxy is from a time frame
Black
in history,
exploitation era.
yeah, which is like,
Literally an exploitation
yeah.
era. That's why it's called
Yeah,
black
yeah, like
exploitation.
at that time everything was sex sales. So the way they
Yeah.
treat her in those movies
Yeah.
is very much like look at her. Very
Mhm.
they objectify her a lot in those movies. So that's why um I don't rank that character as high. Because once again, my thing is hang out with these people and I forgot what the other thing I said. But
Impact.
yeah, impact.
So
And
maybe
but with this thing, I can't deny that Foxy Brown did have an impact in a way. Actually, I don't know.
in the culture, she's referenced in like over 100 songs.
That is true, but a part of me also wonders: do people know Pam Grier now?
Now it's a little tricky, but definitely in the early 2000s, you say
Yeah,
Foxy Brown, you immediately know it's Pam Grier, or vice versa. You say Pam Grier, the first thing that comes to your head is Foxy Brown before
yeah.
anything else, before Jackie Brown.
Yeah, see, look, my thought is Miles Morales. I think we can put Foxy Brown next.
Okay.
Um, Even with everything I said, I can't deny that that character I think is very much impactful, especially in the Black community. I think most people know who Foxy Brown is.
Yes.
Um,
So then after Foxy, number 7.
and we have Agent J.
Yes. We have James Evans, Chris Washington, and Tiana. And we have
Oh well,
yeah.
we haven't put Tiana yet.
No.
Okay, I will put Tiana above Foxy.
Okay. So Foxy's gonna be number 7,
Yeah,
Tiana's gonna be number 6.
yeah, I would do that.
Okay. So we have Foxy, who is number 7, and then Tiana's number 6.
Now here go a unpopular opinion. I'm gonna call this the Dr. Umar Johnson.
Oh,
I'm just joking.
spaghetti.
I'm just joking. I don't think Chris' situation that he's in and
He
get
didn't
out.
know, y'all. He didn't know.
My man's put himself in that
He
situation,
didn't know.
and even Lil Rel told him, "Bro, don't do that. Like, don't go. What? Look, this thing. We all know. Don't go out in the middle of nowhere with a group of people. Okay, when you the only melanated person there. Okay, maybe it won't turn out right. Hey, look, judge me and not judge me. From all the fiction we've seen, when has that ever turned out like right? It did.
The only thing is, I think about the opening of the movie when he's walking and the car's driving by him and he turned around, and he
Oh
turned the
yeah,
other
yeah,
way and
yeah,
walked the other way.
yeah.
It
So,
wasn't Chris, but
is it
it
Lakeith
was
Stanfield's
Lakeith's
character?
character. He still gets caught, which is crazy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because the car pull up on him.
Right.
Yeah,
But it
see,
turns around and they follow
yeah,
him and yeah.
yeah. But look, I don't think he should have put himself in that situation. In addition to, you know,
Um, I just feel that
also,
Chris,
I feel like we're skipping very farther down. The next character up, I guess, is who we should be discussing,
which should
and
be Chris.
I would say Agent J. Because this is once again, my stuff is character and impact, right? I think Agent J makes Men in Black, like the series. Like without the movies, it was Will Smith. I see what I'm saying. Like without that character, I don't think Men in Black works. I think the thing that makes it work is that character that he portrays, the way he acts, the way he behaves, the coolness of him, everything. I think all sort of congeals into making um Agent J like this very super standout character. And then also he ends up carrying the reins for Men in Black eventually.
I mean, also spoiler, if you haven't seen the movie, it's been a decade. At the end of 4, is it 4?
Three, I think there's only three of them.
There's only 3. I don't count the one with Tessa, just the original cast. Where they show in the loop his father and him at the beach.
Yeah.
That was something.
Yeah, that Tommy I'm sorry, man, Tommy Hilfiger. That Tommy Lee Jones recruited the dad or
Yeah.
like
No,
saw
he was
he
he was
saw
gonna recruit him
yeah,
eventually
yeah.
anyways,
Yeah, like he saw
cause the father died,
yeah,
and he knew that he was gonna recruit him
yeah.
way back when he was a kid.
Yeah, so like to me that character stands out because um yeah, like I just think overall as far as hang out with this character, be cool to hang out with. Impact, I think uh also let's not forget one of the most fire movie songs out there performed by the
Yeah,
character Agent
yeah.
J, Men in
Technically,
Black.
yeah.
Okay, if you haven't heard this song, go listen because I know some of y'all may be youngins. Go listen
Mhm.
to the Men in Black song.
1997.
Yeah, but
Well, you had to, back in the day, fast forward through the whole movie, go to the end credits, and then actually see the video on the same VHS tape.
well, hold on. Are we down to our last three or two?
This the last 3.
So Agent J.
James Evans and Chris Washington.
Okay, I'm just say what my picks are. Okay,
Honestly, if I had to do this,
I'm finna just laugh.
James needs to be before Agent J.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no,
Impact of being the first Black positive father role figure on
no.
television.
Nobody thinks of him as that.
Yes.
Nobody thinks of him as that. You want to know who people think is the first impactful black guy? You know the guy we
Uncle.
can't talk about no more.
Oh,
And then second is Uncle Phil.
James is still on that list.
I don't think he is on that list.
He is on that list.
I'm telling you. I think I look. Put it in the comments. Who would you even put as your top three? Well, I don't know what that would even be.
Unrelated dads,
Yeah,
you know.
but to me, I don't think he'd go up there because I actually don't think he does have that impact. Because I think the guy who shall not be named first
Yeah.
is the one that people think about, and I think second is Uncle Phil.
James is probably the number 3 though.
I don't think he is.
I believe he
I
is.
think people go Carl Winslow.
Carl is definitely underneath James.
No, in no way, shape, or form is Carl Winslow underneath James. But what I will say is, who's our last few? It's Agent J.
Agent J, Chris Washington, I can't talk,
Chris
y'all. Chris Washington and James Evans.
Okay, I put James Evans before Chris Washington. I would go Agent J, James, Chris. Only because a part of me feel like Chris, you know, bro, Juneteenth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like, again, he's the first positive Black male on television.
Yeah,
And
yeah, but I don't think people recognize him as that. But I think we agree at the same thing. So
okay, so he's going to be number 8,
who?
James.
No, Agent J.
Okay, well, so Agent J and then James. And then Chris is at number 10.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, I'm going to run this down again. Here we go. So we have, I'm going to go from 10 to 1. So number 10 is Chris Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is James Evans. Number 8 is Agent J. Number 7 is Foxy Brown. Number 6 is Tiana. Number 5 is Miles Morales. Number 4 is Django. Number 3 is Raven Baxter. Number 2 is Undercover Brother. And number 1 is Huey Freeman.
Yeah, Huey Freeman.
Oh my goodness. Well, drop down in the comments and tell us, do you agree with our list? Remember, on Tuesday.
Or disagree.
Or disagree.
We accept the criticism.
Yes.
We just won't listen.
Or disagree. Did we miss somebody that should have been on the list that
Absolutely.
even we didn't name outside of the list before we put it together? Because I know I had some.
Yeah, I had some as well.
And I was like, nah, I don't got space for it. But the following Tuesday, after this podcast drops, we will release how we ranked our list individually, so that you can see. Again, we might not have agreed, as you heard. I wanted somebody to be higher. So make sure you guys also subscribe to all of our social media
Yep,
platforms.
you can
Follow,
follow
like,
us everywhere.
share. Okay. And with that,
Comment on Apple Podcasts if you're on as well. That really helps the
yes,
algorithm.
Apple Podcasts. We are on Apple too. Spotify. All right. With that, y'all, we are out.
Happy Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Peace.